Hello, I am back. If anyone's actually here at this stage. Back from a weekend away. Trying to rearrange my drink. Hey, Justin. Come on, goddammit. Get in there. Try my new clarified cocktail that I have not tried yet. Made a couple days ago. That's a bold and saucy little number I've made there. Very whiskey-ish, a little bit smoky. God, I used not my normal shampoo today. I used the hotel shampoo. Make my hair weird. Tomorrow off. Good for you. I had Friday off. I'm just trying to do something on the phone. Yeah, there's a few public holidays around now. Different states have them on different days. Or gazetted holidays. It's a fun old thing. Let's see something in this game. Actually, that's what I was gonna. Okay. Let's see something in this game. What's that? 8. This one. Okay. One of those ridiculous grind games. Just repeatedly tap a thing. 1.47. Okay, that's the next one. All right, I got it to do a thing. And I'll probably put it away now. Just doing a plain little ad to get a little bonus. All right. That is really interesting. Might be good with soda, actually. I don't normally do that with the clarified cocktails, but I might do it in this case. We shall see. It's one of those just exciting possibilities that the world puts before us. I do that and that. Oh, okay. So I just also, I won't even bother explaining, but the game's doing something that surprised me, but that's okay. I had a friend from Melbourne. Bet your friend with benefits. Does he actually like me? Oh, he does actually like you. Nice. Well, that's good. We like that. Well, yeah, so you never know what's going to happen then. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. That was just a little distraction to set up. Oh man, I still do not have a lot of energy, so it's like all my. That's why I'm not doing a cocktail video tonight because I don't have very good energy levels. So I will try not to be low energy for this stream. Let's see how I go with that pledge. It's my little GoPro clamp I use shooting over there, and I clamp this on the edge of the desk. This bottom bit's magnetic. For people who have a devil may care attitude, want to shoot something like from, say, a car, and actually stick this to the exterior of the car. Got to be a little bit brave to do that, thinking it won't come off. I've never done that. I mean, you could. Might be a fun driving video, actually. If I go somewhere that is a nice drive, stick the GoPro to the bonnet of the car and see what we see. Driving videos are good. That is growing on me. There's a lot of whiskey, and it's less sweet than I normally make the clarified cocktails, and I think that's working in its favor. There's the second one. I've deliberately put some smoky stuff into it, and I think that really works because it dials down the taste, but there's still this smoky element in there, and it's just this mysterious, subtle touch. See how clear it looks with my clear ice. Yep, actually, that's going up in my estimation with each sip. Maybe it actually goes well with a little bit of dilution when the ice melts just a touch. It's an exciting world. Ugh. Theoretically, I'm going into the office tomorrow. Although I kind of fucked my back up. And how did I fuck my back up? I think by coughing, because I didn't do anything else. I've been lots of pain. And actually, even saying that, I just realized it hadn't been bothering me. Like earlier today, it was really bothering me. So maybe it's getting better. But just real old man bad back, basically. It's that straightforward. I was thinking, yeah, this doesn't clear up. I'm going to have to go to the physio and get some work done. I did actually get a massage. We're up around the peninsula. Thai massage starts off with someone like kneeling on my back. Like she just climbs on whole body weight and pressing her knees into my back. And I'm lying there going, and just going like, oh yeah, this is normal. Fucking hell. Just dig those knees into my back. And I don't know, I survived. And I think it helped, actually. So, you went to the winery where he works. Friend said your friend with benefits, giving me a little bit more wine than he was getting. Ooh, subtle but noticeable. Ooh, like that. There you go. There you go. That's a sign right there. Nice, Justin. Well, just ease into this Sunday night. Do I want to have more of that? I might even get my freezer martini. That'd be a fun thing for me to pass the time. Get my freezer martini, have a taste of it. Not a lot, just a taste. Decide what it needs. Hey, Strictly Sega, how is it going? Just chilling on a Sunday night. Actually got home like 6 hours ago, so the drive out to the peninsula on Friday regularly got very congested. Like everyone and their dog was going out to the peninsula for the long weekend. So regularly at on ramps and off ramps, traffic ground to a standstill. This is at a freeway that's 100 kilometers an hour limit, and it would just grind to a stop. Drive back, ground to a stop once around Frankston. The rest was all free flowing. Dr. Abigail has a fun story. Started blocking. Blocking browsers use ad blockers. Okay. You've just used that to get off YouTube. That is actually becoming increasingly common with websites generally. I didn't know YouTube was doing it, but it's becoming more common with websites generally. If you use an ad blocker, they refuse to let you on the site. Oh, yes, it is wine country, but I did not go to any wineries because I do not drink wine. It's also distillery country, and I did go to distilleries. Had a jolly time at the Bass and Flinders distillery. Where's it? My top button turn up? That looks a bit weird. They do gin. They do very good gin, brandy, and some liqueurs. All right, I suppose, yeah, it'll be all about monetized videos. Oh, and you were a little bit slow to pick up the incorrect your. Tucked over go. What did you get there? Oh yeah, no, that was that. I think the cocktail I posted was at Jimmy Rum. Let me actually open the Discord while we're talking about it. What did I post? Just refreshing myself. Ah, yes. The cocktail I posted was at Jimmy Rum. So I'm going to share the pictures. And yes, apparently you can watch live streams, particularly non-monetized live streams. So this was high tea had at Bass and Flinders distillery. We had some gin to drink with this, but yeah, one deck of savory stuff and one deck of sweet stuff. And that was real good. And actually, I'm going to look at, because I'm drawing a blank. Jimmy Rum. Okay, BWS. Jimmy Rum, Jimmy Rum. Do they have the cocktails on their website? Stormy Jimmy Mojito, Red Rum. No, but they have some good recipes on those. Anyway, Jimmy Rum, the cocktails. This was the first cocktails we had at Jimmy Rum, and the one that looks like there's a biscuit on it. That's a very elaborate garnish, which was kind of like fudge and nuts, and it's like a buttery fudge, and it was like an old fashioned. It had with a burnt butterwash rum and some banana, and that's pretty wild. And yeah, the other one's a sour, which was very nice. But we had a few cocktails there, and they were all good. So we had a good time. It was just a very chill weekend, and had some good times and saw some sights, and it got a bit warm. Nice sunset on the beach, and generally pretty good. Oh, and I did actually. Oh, no, my back still does hurt when I just tried to twist. It hurt. Got silver cane spirit, as in white rum from Jimmy Rum. But this one, they're rum, which is kind of funny. No, story behind it. The first couple of things they made, and again, the name of the place is super cheeky. The guy whose name who runs it is Jimmy. So he calls his business Jimmy Rum. So when he releases a product, this is a cane spirit rather than a rum, because there's a legal definition of rum, and this doesn't meet it. But it's like proto rum, a cane spirit. So it just calls it silver. Doesn't call it silver rum, just calls it silver. But because the distillery is called Jimmy Rum, you get the idea of what they're going for. And so for the first couple of years, they weren't like, I think they aged their first rums for 4 years or something. And so for those years, they didn't have a rum they'd made. They imported rums from the Caribbean and did their own blend and released that under the name Barbados. But this, so they call it rum because it's not Jimmy Rum, cane spirit. No, this is actual rum. It's rum. It's got a little spiel on here. My old eyes need a light on. It was a mad 2 a.m. light bulb moment, an idea that was to take 7 years to come to fruition, the dream to build Victoria's first dedicated craft rum distillery. With a bucket load of passion and a touch of rambunctiousness, we present our first Victorian-produced rum releases. Produced from Australian-made and owned molasses, distilled in our gorgeous Italian copper still Matilda, aged in 200-litre ex-bourbon barrels, released in a single cask or small batch blends. It's a rum to be savoured neat over ice with a drop or two of water. Each batch of our rum is cut, ABV adjusted, to be the best sipping rum it can be. Rums to raise the gauntlet, to fine whiskies and brandies. Rums to truly show what rum can be. So this is actually 50% ABV. So, common base ABV for spirits is 40. So that's a bit higher. Is my sugar syrup here? I might make a rum old-fashioned with that. I might. I'll finish my clarified cocktail first. That's about done. Is my jigger here? There is a jigger here. Is there another jigger here? Just one jigger here. Okay. Okay. Very interesting to me that this had a coating on it, which looked kind of cool. Did not like my dishwasher. It's all stripped off in the dishwasher. Hello, Chog. How's it going? Oh, yeah, daylight saving time. Yeah. It was like so light at 7 p.m. tonight. It was quite the change. And of course, that's a thing. This summer, the streams are going to be a bit different because, of course, last couple of years when I was in the kitchen, daylight saving time meant the summer streams, it was light behind me. But because I'm in here with the curtains closed, it will be less obvious. Oh my God, this weird coating coming off. Hope it's not toxic. I do very much like having hours of sunlight after getting home from work. That dead of winter, when it's dark when you leave for work and dark when you get home, Fargon sucks. I do not like it at all. Daylight saving time today, Dr. Abigail. So like last night. So it's 8:19 p.m. Now, it would have been 7:19 p.m. this time yesterday. So yes, it's This stream is actually, relatively speaking, an hour earlier than last week's. What the fuck is in there? I don't know. I think I'm going to make an old-fashioned with the Jimmy rum rum rum. Do. Take this off. Yes, in the modern world, clocks change themselves. We have one or two analog clocks that we have to manually change. Okay. Okay, so I just decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a quarter of an ounce of this in. Oops. It's like in my head, I had decided what I was going to do, and then I did something else. Brain, no worky. Yes, Dr. Jones, new bottle from this weekend away. Anyway, and I will do a toast when I pour this. Okay, so pour the sugar. Oh, fucking hell. That didn't go on the outside, did it? No, okay. Cool. Well, you like give the ASMR. I love that glug, glug, glug. Get the first couple times you pour. Ooh, that might have been a heavy pour. That's okay. That's okay. Yes, Chog. Easier to do things like mowing the lawn after work. What bitters? What bitters? What bitters? What's this one? Mr. Bitters. We'll put some of this in. Ooh, that is a very aromatic, which is that one. All right, so was a nice glug glug. I like the glug glug. So, raising a glass to my favourite uni lecturer, Bill Blaikie, was a very influential teacher for both myself and AIDzee in our time doing theatre stuff. Incredibly inventive and knowledgeable man, and just a great person. And we just found out he died, so I'm going to raise a glass. Oh, that is so different to a whiskey old-fashioned. Those funky rum flavors. It's like there's a little bit of overripe banana. Maybe even a bit of like pineapple-y. Oh god, and it's just like it's like cinnamon vanilla flavors as well. Yum. All right, we have a random query. We like that. People, many walks of life. Experience with fair weather friends. How conditional is friendship? Okay. Deep and fraught question. Okay. People don't really get to fuck with me. And like my experience of a lot of things may well be different to a lot of people. So, okay, having organized all these social YouTube things over the last, 18 years, I have socialized with a lot of people and I've been friendly with a lot of people. Whether I call them friends or not is another thing. Dr. Abigail, the term fair weather friend is like when the weather is fair, everything is easy. There's no challenges. There's it's easy to be friends because there's nothing wrong. And but when the weather gets rough, when there are challenges, when there are things that are difficult, these people, the fair weather friends, disappear. They're not there for you when you need them. I'm not aware of any fire affected places I went to over the weekend. Although there was a big freaking cluster of Country Fire Authority volunteers in Dramana today, which is where I was. So I don't know if there was a fire somewhere in the neighborhood. I didn't see it. But there were sirens and a big gathering of Country Fire Authority. East Gippsland. I was nowhere near East Gippsland. I was on the Mornington Peninsula. Going around the bay, looking back at Melbourne. And it was a thoroughly nice time. So, yes, Chog, your question, what's the experience with fair weather friends? How conditional is friendship? If someone was just like an acquaintance or I was friendly rather than regarding them as serious friends, I don't really have a problem if they fall into the fair weather friend category. But I have had several experiences of people fucking with me, and I have very close to a zero tolerance policy for that. I've probably given some people more than one chance, but when it gets to the stage, and I make the decision myself, make a subjective call. If someone's fucking with me, I will cut them dead. I will just like, no, you know what? Life's too short. I don't need you. I don't need your bullshit. And I will just cut them dead. And it's just like, no. And you could well find flaw with my choice of doing that. So, I mean, I should give them another break. It's like, maybe I should. Maybe I'm just old and grumpy, actually. And it's just like, yeah, you know what? In my experience, if someone fucks you over once, they're gonna fuck you over again. It's the old, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No. I think I did a George W. Bush and fucked that up. What did he do? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on. Won't get fooled again. No, the saying is, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like if you fall for it. Hey, Mizm, I'm okay. I'm still slightly under the weather. All things being equal, I had a good weekend. Remnants of this cold, very annoying. So, Chog, you're ride or die. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. Yes. And that's the thing. That's what a good friend is. Absolutely. And I have no problem socializing with people who don't want to be that, don't want to be the ride or die, who want to be the fair weather friend. That's fine. I kind of know where I stand with them, and I will, socialize with them or not. So, Chug, you reckon over the years you got the impression people see friendship as a shallow concept, someone you have a bit of fun with? Well, that's as I say, that's more acquaintanceship. That's someone that you socialize with. That's someone you're friendly with, in my personal definition. But I do tend to lean a bit towards what you're saying. If I say someone is my friend, I'm fairly serious about that. And that's why if someone fucks with me, I'm like, oh, okay, suck my dick. And yeah, just don't want to do it. You want me to play Call of Duty? I do not game very much. And man, I haven't played a shooter game like that in forever. I mean, I might actually enjoy it, quite honestly. But I haven't. Oh God, maybe I'll go on Humble Bundle one time. See if there's an outdated version of Call of Duty I can get really cheap. Friends are like ogres. They come in layers. You make people cry. You smell bad. Yeah. Joe, yeah, that's an acquaintance. And look, acquaintances are fine. And surface level, friendliness is fine. Just someone you socialize with, it's fine. I'm someone when they're in, that category, I'm not going to push a particular thing, but I'm also not going to commit to that person as well. So, Dr. Jones, stirred rum. I've heard of that one, the 100-year-old cigar. A little bit sweet. Aged rum, Isla Scotch, China, Benedictine. I think I've got a way sweeter tooth than you. If you think that's sweet, and that's just like the Benedictine and maybe the China putting a bit of sweetness in there. Because I put sugar in that. So I think I've got a sweeter tooth than you. But yes, no, I'd heard of that one. So yes, you got aged rum and the peated Scotch to get the smokiness, and China, which is an Amaro. It's like the artichoke-based one. And Benedictine, very herbal. And an absinthe rinse is always a nice touch in my book. I'm a big fan of the drink whose name just totally went out of my head, but it's like the New Orleans version of the old fashioned. And I swear to God, my brain just fucking stopped. I'm going to blame it on the cold because I have not drunk enough alcohol to be forgetting things. I keep wanting to say Boulevardier, and it's not a Boulevardier. It is a Sazerac. It's a fucking Sazerac. Jesus Christ. I'm internally slapping my brain about to dislodge bits of knowledge. I was thinking of a Sazerac. Oh, an A la Louisiane. And there's a few slightly different named and different make versions of that. Freaking love that. I love New Orleans drinks. Made last week on the stream, first I made the Vieux Carré, which is one of my favorites, and then did the experiment of swapping out the whiskey for tequila, and that was freaking awesome. That was really good. So Vieux Carré is the old square. It's French, being New Orleans, lots of French things, and so I actually found the translation. I have not committed it to memory. Plaza Vieja. No, I did remember it. In Spanish, Old Square is Plaza Vieja. And it's a really nice drink. Anyway, so John, do you have acquaintances? Yes. I almost never get friendly with people I work with. I will socialize with them. They'll be acquaintances. But because I will seriously put myself out for people. So if someone who I've placed in the zone of someone I would put myself out for fucks with me, then it's like, oh no. So for not super Tim Smith, Last night, over a couple of hours, had 3 cocktails. And Friday night, over a couple of hours, had 3 cocktails. So definitely Tim Smith, but not super wasted. Musical aviator, week-long LARP camp. Holy cow. Sore feet, 15,000 steps a day. Oh, is that with the Discord beeps I'm hearing? Nice. You got a long weekend tomorrow, so well, that's not bad. Let me go here. Oh, holy cow. Oh, those look like some great pictures. Okay, I'm just going to really quickly go through. So, $20 is a decent price for a good cocktail. It's expensive for a bad cocktail, and it's cheap for a really good cocktail. So, if we have a look at some of these LARP pictures. All right. So you got a fort, tents. Ooh, some nice costumes. Different cultures going on there. It's like people getting battle ready. Ooh, there's quite a few people. Nice. Oh, that's a nice sunset. I like that. Oh, very proud. Good photo. Oh, everyone looks like they're getting ready for something there. Oh, that looks like some pretty cool stuff. Chog. No, that would be you'd be having a state long weekend. Friday was a public holiday in Melbourne. I don't think across the whole state. Oh, you ready for the hype train for PAX? Strictly Sega. I always forget what city you're in, because in Australia, $16 is suspiciously cheap for a cocktail. I would not expect a $16 cocktail to be good. Justin, I talked about that article last week, actually. Article in question being an ABC journo who is on one of the shows she does. They come up with answers to weird questions, and one was they explored names you're not allowed to give a child. If you put particular names on a birth certificate, it'll get rejected by birth, deaths, and marriages. And they were wondering, what's the default name? If you put a name on a birth certificate that's not acceptable, what's the default name they put on there? And so she lodged birth details for her child with the name Methamphetamine Rules, thinking that's obviously going to be ruled out, and we'll find out what the default name is. Lo and behold, they got a birth certificate that said they were the proud parents of little Methamphetamine Rules. Whoops. Of course, the error was corrected, and birth, death, and marriage said, no, we should never have agreed to that. This whole thing. So, Dr. Jones, you had 3 cocktails tonight. Adam's word, 100-year-old cigar. Oh, White Russian. Huh. I have some really interesting cream liqueurs that I want to, because I think my cream liqueur is a very Christmassy thing. I'm going to be doing some experiments leading up to Christmas with some of the cream liqueurs I got. Chog, you can get $16 cocktails in your areas, cheap side. Oh, yeah, but again, a pub pina colada or fruit tingle for $12 is, I don't know, just some very cheap alcohol and sugar and fruit juice. I am a fucking cocktail snob. I suppose I've been places where $18 cocktails were very good. $16 is just suspicious to me. Just a little bit too cheap. And I guess depending on the venue and the drink, I'll pay up to mid-20s for a cocktail. That's getting on the expensive side, but that's that's got to be absolute top end cocktails. But $20 to $22 is really common. Probably the most common range in decent venues doing decent drinks is between $18 and $22. Justin, I don't remember finer details like that. I vaguely remember reading that birth, deaths, and marriages said, yeah, you need to send that birth certificate back to us because you can't have that name. Pre-tip. Okay, well, we don't, as a rule, tip in Australia because the people working the bar staff are paid properly. But if I like the venue, I'll tip them. And that's what I mean. Sydney or Melbourne. I don't go out in other cities. So yes, me with the mad Melbourne dollars. Well, their rent's really expensive. They've got fucking costs to cover. But yeah, Sydney, Melbourne, I think $18 to $22 is the common price range. You undoubtedly can get cheaper. You definitely get more expensive. And I will go out on a limb and say more expensive is not by definition better. I need to find out place with Dubbo cocktail prices. Getting your teeth kicked in for being a puffed or asking for a cocktail. I'm probably being far too harsh on Dubbo. There are probably places that do cocktails in Dubbo now. Yeah, strictly say if I'm out, like if I've had like date night with Mrs. Angry and it's been really good and like food and drink has been exceptional and the people have been really good, I actually probably will tip them. But I think, yeah, Dr. Jones is asking from the perspective of you're automatically definitely going to tip someone. So I did see a funny thing with an English comedian talking about making a mistake in the US, was out drinking and knew that the bar staff got paid shit and were reliant on tips. So they ordered a drink and they tipped them, I don't know, like $10 or $20 first up. And then the bar staff were just making them super fucking strong drinks, like to thank them for the, and they were like, oh no, I didn't want to get fucked up. I didn't give you the tip to get fucked up. I gave you the tip because I thought you deserved it. Now you're just making me quadruple strength drinks. Chog, there is no guarantee of quality in Sydney or Melbourne. Absolutely. I know very good places that I fucking love, but just because a place is in Melbourne or Sydney and expensive is no guarantee of quality. And Nog, hey, how you going? Oof. Yeah, so it's a whole thing, and it's also what you're used to and what you get. That's what I was going to look up because one of the places I went to while out on the Mornington Peninsula, it's called Two Boys, as in Bouys, nautical theme, not buoys, as Americans say. What the hell is that about? It's not buoys, it's boys. I did take a picture of their because they have fun with their cocktail menu. I'm sure I saved. Oh yeah, okay. Because that was the normal range. Their cocktails were like $20 to $22, and they were very good. They made very good cocktails. Oh yeah, no, the pay rates, it's criminal in the US, awful. So tipping's bullshit. Yeah, no, it's horrifying, and it's counterproductive. The whole system is fucked. Anyway, so normal cocktail prices at this place, but then they've got one called Smoking Cactus. The description: let's go a bit fancy tonight with the Smoking Cactus. Top shelf tequila, Clase Azul, mixed with Angostura bitters, dash of chocolate bitters, sugar cube, smoked with your choice of wood chip, apple or hickory, served with ice ball, orange peel, smoke infused rosemary. Enjoy the show at the bar or ask for a mixologist to mix at your table with a full smoking experience. $60. $60 for a tequila old fashioned, a smoked tequila old fashioned with a bit of a show. And I was like, I don't need a show that much. But it's fun that they have something like that on the menu for people who want a thing. But I did not feel the need for it. Man, okay, that Jimmy Rum is really good. God, it's almost got, it's that in there, it's almost got like this cigar flavor. And I say this not like a smoking one, um, uh, but just that rich. I think it's also the oak from the barrels that's coming through, but little notes of chocolate and like the aroma of a cigar. Really fucking yummy. Yes, that is asking a lot for a show, but it's the top shelf tequila, so the tequila is probably 3 times more expensive than your average tequila. But yeah, no, too rich for my blood. So, adult male working at Levi's, $3 an hour, surviving on tipping. Yeah, gave him $20, broke down in tears. Oh, it's just no. The tipping thing in the US is fucked. Oh yeah, no, that's that's an expensive meal. That's $60. That's a really expensive. And again, I actually 3 courses I'll pay $60. But yeah, it's and I have no idea how often, if ever, someone orders it. I don't know if it's like just someone who wants to act like they're being a high roll or whatever. But Mrs. Angry was looking at, because we both love old fashions, and this place they have a lot of fun with their cocktail menu. They have little stories for each of them. And she was just looking at the stories and went, "Oh, I think that one's an old fashioned." I said, "I think that one's $60." And she's like, "What now?" They made like they have a bit of fun. They made an Irish whiskey sour with Proper 12 whiskey, which is the Irish whiskey owned slash promoted by Conor McGregor. So they call this drink a Conor McGregor, and they say, "What's the best thing about buying a barrel of Conor McGregor's whiskey? It's easy to tap." That's a fighting joke. Oh, capitalism, as practiced globally, is broken. Yes, I agree, Dr. Jones. Expensive story, not for me. Not for me. Well, from the capitalists' point of view, it's working well. And again, all these people who say they support capitalism aren't the capitalists. They're people who just think they can ultimately benefit from it. The capitalists are the 1% who have all the money. This one, I got this one, and it was actually good. So, okay, so there's a cheesy cocktail called a grasshopper. Because it's green, because it's got creme de menthe in it. So, traditionally, a grasshopper is just like 1 shot creme de menthe, 1 shot creme de cacao, then 1 or 2 shots of cream, and you shake it. Like it's not a great drink. Okay, it's not a great drink. The version they do, I think, was influenced by what's his name? Jeffrey Morgenthaler. Basically adds Fernet Branca to it, and it's actually a good drink. Now they call it a Kevin, and the reason that's called a Kevin is a grasshopper walks into a bar. The bartender says, "We have a drink named after you." The grasshopper says, "You have a drink called Kevin?" So it's creme de menthe, white creme de cacao, Fernet Branca, cream, and chocolate. So that was just adding Fernet Branca, which is a fairly complex and strongly flavored herbal amaro, actually made it an interesting drink. I want to try and I'll probably do that later this week, actually. Try and recreate that because it's freaking good. No, now you're craving food from the place you go to? Fair enough. I know and they have a lot of fun with their menu doing stuff like that. So, for theoretically, I'm going into the office tomorrow. We'll see how I feel when I wake up because I fucked my back up, and I can only work out it's from coughing too hard because I'm fucking old and I can fuck myself up by coughing. Like I'm a lot of pain in my back. It'll either be better, worse, or the same. If it's worse tomorrow, I'll be barely able to move, and I'll just be calling the office saying, "I can't come in because my back's fucked. I'm gonna have to go to not a chiropractor, physiotherapist." Yeah, no, Chog. I think $60 is 3 courses, not the alcoholic beverage and some liqueur to finish, but unless you're going way over the top, $60 is 3 courses for me. Thought about buying a bottle of creme de menthe or creme de cacao. Creme de cacao, white creme de cacao. Really versatile. Definitely get that. Creme de menthe. I've got some creme de menthe. Limited range of uses for it. Does the Kevin come with a piece of drywall punched after punching yourself? Oh dear. Justin, we pick days to go into the office. Currently, we're meant to go in 2 or 3 days a week. So my preferred days to go in are Monday and Tuesday. Because Mrs. Angry goes into her office on Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow's all going to be down to how I feel. Has this cold gone away? Is my back still fucked? If I'm okay, I'm going into the office tomorrow. I was going to look up this. Oh, actually, I don't need to look it up on phone. I have Discord open here. This Morgenthaler recipe. Visit the site. Oh, okay. There's a YouTube video I'd have to watch. Which one? Okay, so 1.5 ounces creme de menthe, 1.5 ounces creme de cacao, just a teaspoon of Fernet Branca. Wow, that's a big fucking drink. 1.5 ounces. Oh god, he's got ice cream and crushed ice, and he blends it. Holy shit. That's really full on. When I mentioned this one, a friend pointed out this Morgenthaler one. Okay, so Difford's is really fussy. What do they say is a grasshopper? Yeah, one shot. That's a huge fucking drink Morgenthaler's making. 1.5 ounces, 1.5 ounces. That's it. And just a teaspoon of Fernet Branca. And ice cream and crushed ice blended. Holy I mean, I'm sure that's a really good drink, but that's really fucking over the top. Wowzers. What's a grasshopper number 2 according to them? Creme de menthe, creme de cacao, mezcal, and brancamenta. An absinthe. What's a flying grasshopper? It's got vodka. Okay, well, that's fucked. Sorry, I'm such a snob. As soon as someone puts vodka in a cocktail, I'm like, oh, why don't you fuck off? Oh, brandy. Okay. So Augustin's grasshopper, brandy, creme de menthe, white creme de cacao, and cream. I've got a bit of time for that one. Jog my workplace first. There, yeah. I literally uh, could do my work. They're just kind of, there is some pressure. I reckon the next round of negotiations for the new award, part of it will be like, because the federal public service did a thing, it was like, people should be able to work from home. That should be the default if they want it. I think that will happen for me, but that won't be till next year. So it's like, yeah, whatever. And yes, it's the commercial real estate developers who are freaking out about people working from home. Oh, and the people who have businesses in the city. And I empathize way more with the people who have businesses in the city. But it's like, hey, kids, capitalism, what part of it don't you get? If people don't want what you got. Yep, that is absolutely my attitude, Chog. And particularly my work is very measurable. I'm either doing it or not doing it. So yeah. So now I feel like reading some more of these funny drink descriptions because they're just good. Um, so they have a sombrero narco, which they describe as cartel couriers have smuggled pickle juice in our margaritas. So it's mezcal, orange liqueur, lime, pickled cucumber juice, and chili with chili salt rimmed glass. I just expected it. Cupid's mistake. Tinder date a catfish? It's okay. Order one of these, and it may help overlook him or her. One called Boys and Babes. You'll be swinging off the deck after this delightful concoction. Boys will be after babes after boys. Oh, a gin-based one that says, gin may not be the answer, but it's worth a shot. One called Frosty Fruits. Remember walking to the local milk bar as a kid on hot summer's days? This is like a frosty fruit, but for adults. Or the one called Slightly Sexy. After drinking a few of these in the nice hot sun, you may have the extra courage to talk to the group of girls or cute boys out on the deck. You will become one step closer. Some might say you've become slightly sexy. Or a drink called a Phil Collins. Whether it's a monkey smashing on the drums advertising chocolate, or the real Phil Collins staring sexily down the camera in black and white. With this cocktail, you will feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord. So basically, they have fun, which is nice. I like it when people have fun. Also, they do good quality drinks and good quality food. So that's a good combination. Having a bit of fun and actually providing good stuff. So, uh, so Chog, you went off work for yourself. Oh yeah, no, I do tend to agree. Office politics, corporate bullshit. Yeah, but it's what it is. So, Dr. Jones, your cousin lives in Australia. Think about asking her to bring a bottle you talked about. Oh my God, the Mac. Okay, look, if they can really get it, the barrel aged Mac. See, now I was thinking, do I want a taste of something? Don't want to do full drink. You put no. I'm going to have some Mac. I've got the Mac and the barrel aged Mac, and I'm going to get. How's my back doing? Oh, it fucking hurts. I'll tell you that much for free. Ow! God damn it! All right, so This lot released their first whiskey as well, which I got. Not my favorite, but this is a can't do without it thing. This is just fuck me. Okay, so this is the default one. Macadamia and wattle seed liqueur. Very Australian. Very Australian. So I'm just going to have a splash of it. I'm just going to put it on ice. Just a splash. So this is the original Mac. Which, once I had it once, it's like, okay, I always have to have a bottle of this on hand. Return of the Mac. So just give it a little stir. And this is... Oh my God, that is just so fucking yummy. Like, it's a liqueur, so it's sweet, but it's less painfully sweet than that sheepdog peanut butter whiskey that I've got, which really I'm just going to treat like a sugar syrup in future if I want something to sweet and drink. But now this is the barrel-aged Mac. And please don't panic that there's only a little bit in this bottle. I have another bottle of it. Because I didn't want to run out because it's so fucking good. And after the first time the barrel-aged Mac was released, then it wasn't available for ages, and then it came back, so I bought 2 bottles. Now I think they go in hand. Cleaner. This is back in my college days. I did a theatre degree. Long-term viewers will also remember AIDzee. We did the same course. The man's name was Bill Blaikie, and he was fucking incredible. He was engaging, knowledgeable, inspirational, caring, supportive, funny as fuck. Learned so much from him. He was very good. Yes. And Bill actually outlived AIDzee. I don't know Bill's exact age. He's probably in his 80s. So, yeah. Actually, Chog, sheepdog straight from the freezer? Oh, that sounds interesting. Like, it's sugar. If you want a sugary drink, like it is, there's the whole thing. Sheepdog is not unpleasant. It just fucking tastes like peanut brittle. Like I'm like now literally imagining pouring it over ice cream. Like I reckon it'd be fucking awesome in a dessert. I think it'd be really good in a dessert. So yes, AIDzee and I both had Bill Blaikie. Was an incredible educator, just an amazing guy. And okay, so the barrel-aged Mac, it just somehow brings these chocolate notes in. Like they don't add anything chocolatey to it; they just barrel-age it, and it's just fucking weird. Oh, 2 excellent ideas. Noog, an alcoholic milkshake with sheepdog would probably be really good. And yes, sheepdog straight from the freezer, poured over vanilla bean ice cream. That would fucking kick ass. Like maybe even with a dessert, like I don't know what would be best. Like something fudgy or apple pie or a sticky date pudding or something. But I'm even thinking like some sort of cakey dessert, spoon of vanilla bean ice cream, and sheepdog over it. Oh my God. And that's the thing, like when I shit on a sheepdog, it's just from the perspective of whiskey. it's just like, nah, it's not whiskey. It's liquid alcoholic peanut brittle, which is fine. I look there are so many ice creams. I don't think it's possible to have a favorite. So who used the Mac in bookmark of it? Oh, it's so versatile. This is just incredible. Yeah, they're just saying the signature serve for this is on ice, and it's fucking incredible. And also, from every bottle sold, we'll make a donation to the Byron Bay Wildlife Hospital. So that's nice. Mm. So Brookies, the Byron Bay Distillery, like I said, they make this. They make very good gins. Like I said, they did make a whiskey, which I think has been doing well for them. Not my favorite, but that's the thing. So they're recommended. So for just general Mac, there's 45 mils Mac with 30 mils of whiskey and bitters. So a version of an old fashioned. Easy Mac, yeah, just over ice or with a squeeze of lime. Yeah, either way, over ice is just right. But this one particularly, the barrel aged one, is everything that's good about the original Mac, and it just brings in these really deep chocolatey flavors under it. Fucking awesome. No, you're just a vanilla fan? Well, that's like the base of it. That's the base of any good ice cream. Salted pretzel connoisseur. Nice. See, and that's the thing, is like, I went to yeah, your typing's letting you down again, Saf. I literally have no idea what you're saying there. Like went to like a boutique ice cream place on the weekend. Really nice. When there's when your ice cream flavors are only limited by your imagination, as like how do you have a favorite? Because but by the same token, if you have a favorite, you have a favorite. It's good. Ugh. But yeah, you could almost. Well, what's the use this as a substitute for amaretto? Any cocktail that calls for amaretto, use that instead. Oh yeah, no, the barrel aged is the tits. I mean, actually, just Mac, straight Mac, so good. But the barrel aged is somehow just amazingly better. Maybe the base, but you're right, and that's the thing. Okay, so vanilla can be screwed up. There are crappy vanilla ice creams. It's like pizzas, like margarita pizza. Your base pizza, sauce, cheese, and maybe garlic or herbs. There's not much to hide behind. You find out like the quality of uh, their ingredients, particularly their base. I think the base of a pizza is really important. So it's like margarita is a test for can people actually make good pizzas. And cocktail wise, my go-to cocktails to just see can these people just make a cocktail. Ones you can't really hide is an old fashioned or a martini. Like you can't really hide behind those, behind all sorts of weird shit. You can do really fancy old fashions and somewhat intricate martinis as well. Uh, um, but yeah, a margarita is how you tell if a pizza shop's any chop. Uh, vanilla ice cream is how you tell if an ice cream maker's any good. An old fashioned or a martini is how you tell if a person can make a cocktail. I think Nug's trying to upset me there. You shake drinks that have citrus or other things that need to be integrated. So martini, which is just spirits, is stirred, and an old-fashioned is stirred. Well, vanilla bean is the fancy way. Ooh, homemade vanilla bean ice cream. That does sound really good. My fancy sugar syrup I have here. I love this stuff. This goes really well on desserts as well, but it's good for dark spirit cocktails. So sliced apple, cover it in brown sugar. The brown sugar leaches the moisture out of the apple peel and liquefies. And then after a day or so, when that's all turned to liquid, I put that in a saucepan. I toast cooking spices like cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, star anise, like whatever's about, and then add the syrup and the apple to it and stew it up. Maybe add a bit of water to make sure all the sugar's dissolved, and then simmer it down, reduce it a bit, and it's just fucking bad. Yes, the James Bond, I have videos on that. Like James Bond is an idiot. It's basically, by all accounts, Fleming invented that description of the Vesper Martini, having never had it. Now, admittedly, in the recent movie Casino Royale, when Daniel Craig orders it, sounds cool as fuck, and also taking control of it. The way when he says martini, and he just goes, this is like 3 parts gin, and for some reason he says Gordon's because it was the early 20th century. It's probably all it was about. Why the fuck you'd specify Gordon's now, I don't know. 3 parts gin, 1 part vodka, half a part quinoa lay, shaken on ice till it's ice cold, served with a twist of lemon. Popular history has it that some years later, Fleming had someone make him this drink, and he didn't actually like it. I am a by all means, have the drink you like, but I am a super fucking snob with martinis, and a martini is gin and a small amount of vermouth, according to your taste, stirred on ice, served in a chilled glass, and with a twist of lemon. Me, I do it dry, so yeah, no, that's the folklore, Dr. Jones. Some years later, Fleming had someone make him a Vesper Martini and he didn't like it. But it sounds cool. And Daniel Craig makes it sound very cool when he orders it, just the way he takes control. But I'll be a super fucking snob and say it's not a proper martini if it's not made with gin. Vodka has no business being in there. Get the fuck out. And I like it dry. So I like it at least 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. Some people, I think even 3 parts gin to 1 part vermouth is considered dry. It gets more than that. It's wet. So, okay, that's the fun term. I've probably had this whole rant a million times, but if you hear people referring to dry martinis, the less vermouth in the martini, the drier it is. The more vermouth that's in it, the wetter it is. Like, so you'll actually get sort of tongue-in-cheek names for it. Like people call it a sopping wet or dripping wet martini. It's like equal parts, or it's even more vermouth than gin. Becomes a quite different drink at that point. But you should always go with what you like. Like I say, I do it about 5-1. Kirsten likes it at least 7-1 or 8-1. There's the jokes, like Winston Churchill would joke about, stir the gin on ice till it's ice cold, pour it into a martini glass and wave it in the direction of Italy, where the vermouth is, or show it a bottle of unopened vermouth, all these things. It's fun. Some people will literally just rinse the glass with vermouth, but to me, the secret is ice fucking cold, ice cold. So Noog, you're looking at options. You got a unopened bottle of Gordon's, JD Tennessee Honey, Captain's Morgan's are almost gone. Yeah, look, gin is absolutely an acquired taste, but there are a few good cocktails to get you into gin. I'd recommend a gimlet or a bee's knees. They're both really good, easy, approachable, and super yummy gin drinks. Uh, but it's definitely not for everyone. That herbal element, and like some people, all they taste is like pine needles, which is the sort of the base element of the gin, the juniper. I absolutely 86 vodka in a martini. I don't take that seriously. Although, okay, I will say one thing. When I was playing with a Vespa Martini, which has some vodka in it, and said, "Is there any possible use for this fucking thing?" And it's like, okay, you know what? If someone has found a gin martini too overpowering, you could make them this, and the vodka is going to subdue the flavor elements of the gin without getting rid of them altogether. So a Vespa Martini could arguably be a way to ease someone into having a gin martini. Mind you, people shouldn't be compelled to drink a particular thing that they don't want to fucking drink in the first place. I just suddenly feel compelled to point that out. If someone doesn't want to drink a particular thing, they don't want to drink a particular thing. That's fine. I really don't have time for people who try to coerce people into drinking a particular thing or in a particular way, or even coerce people into drinking alcohol. Someone that will make me genuinely angry if someone's trying to coerce someone else into drinking alcohol when that person has said they don't want to drink alcohol. They don't need to give you a reason. They don't need to say, "I'm doing it for my health," or because I'm an alcoholic, or because I grew up with an alcoholic and I don't like alcohol. Someone who says they don't want to drink alcohol doesn't fucking owe anybody an explanation. Just saying, "I don't want to drink alcohol." That's a complete sentence. Like, no is a complete sentence. It's you. If you don't want to drink alcohol, you don't need to justify that shit to anyone. And I do get really quite upset with people who harass or coerce people into uh, drinking alcohol. It's really, really, really shitty behavior. So don't do it, is what I'm saying. And yeah, and don't ask people for an explanation. If you're offered to buy someone a drink and they go, "I'm not drinking," don't even say why. Just go, "Fair enough." In fact, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if I'm out with someone and I get to say, "Oh, you're getting a drink," and they're like, "Oh, I don't drink alcohol," or "I don't want alcohol," 9 times out of 10, I won't drink alcohol because it can just be, and to find out if it's, and I think most people who choose not to drink alcohol themselves don't really have a problem with someone drinking alcohol around them, but in some cases it is an issue and they maybe don't want to say why. And it's like, well, I don't want to put them on the spot. I don't want to put them under pressure. So most of the time, if I'm with someone who's not drinking alcohol, I also will not drink alcohol. That's just a choice I make. Again, I'm not feeling coerced by that person. I'm not feeling pressured by that person. I'm not feeling embarrassed or shamed by that person. It'll just be like, oh, for whatever reason, they're not drinking alcohol. I probably make their time easier if I also do not drink alcohol. I definitely won't make their time harder if I don't drink alcohol. So that's usually the choice I will make. I did not bring any fucking soda water in here. I need to drink something non-alcoholic. Probably go and get my soda. I can't even be bothered setting chickens up. How lazy. Oh, I should. Should I? I should set chickens up. Play some elevator music. Even though I'll probably only be gone. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a toilet break too. So I might be gone for 2 minutes. So I'll put chickens in charge. I'll put chickens in charge. And I'll put some elevator music. Oh, what's that? Dr. Jones. Clover Club. Excellent cocktail. Excellent fucking cocktail. The Clover Club. So that's another one, Noog. If you want to maybe work the way through the Gordons, Clover Club is an excellent cocktail. Just going to put some elevator music on. All right. So probably like, I don't know, 2 minutes and I'll be back. All right, and we're back. All right. Chickens, you have done your duty. Ugh. Just turn the music off. Oh. Sorry, we've got into moist. Talk about a moist gusset. But I think, what's that phobia some people have about holes in things? Let's go. Phobia about holes. That auto-completed. Maybe I've looked it up before. That's it. Trypophobia. I was at a garden today and that this seed. That's right. You knew it, Dr. Abigail. I was at this garden today, and in one of the displays, they had this seed pod that's often used in photos to trigger people with trypophobia. It's just got lots of little holes in it. It's a fascinating plant, the seed pod, and that's it. Yes, lotus pods. And people who really want to fuck with people with trypophobia will often Photoshop it onto part of a person's body, so it looks like they've got all holes in their body with maggoty things in it. It's awful. Strict say you're kicking yourself. Got some plastic covers like record sleeves. Soft plastic and kind of county. Oh. I love lotus pods. And I also love, they tend to be like natural rattles, like baby rattles. I think they're pretty amazing. But they are the trigger for people with trypophobia, particularly when photoshopped onto a human body. Okay, I need to scratch it. I have this itch, and I scratch it too much, and I break the skin, and then it's really sore, and I suffer for a couple of days. I've got to try and exert some willpower and not scratch it. Yeah, Strict Sega, that's for your discs. Was that $400? Oh, god damn. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, if you don't get the right cover, ugh. Damn it. Yeah, I used to do that with my vinyl. I got specialty plastic covers for a lot of my vinyl. 1,000 sleeves. Holy shit. Yes. God damn it, that sucks. Okay. Oh, very frustrating. I see why you're kicking yourself. Dang. That's the whole thing. Is it like the cocktail nerd in me? I am getting excited about trying a new clarification technique to make another one of these. This is I've done this with the well-known method of using citrus in the mix, so that when you add it to milk, the milk curdles and the curds act as a filter when you pour it through. I love it. But someone has, I don't know if it's a recent discovery or rediscovery or whatever, but someone has discovered if you have milk powder, like, dehydrated milk, and you bake that in the oven, like, you don't want to burn it, but you need to bake it a bit so it toasts. And it kind of, apparently the aroma it gets from toast is kind of like, burnt butter smell. And then you reconstitute that baked milk powder. The milk will automatically try to separate. It's done something at the chemical level. The combination of dehydrating the milk and then baking the dehydrated milk and then reconstituting it, the milk will just try to separate. So you don't have to add citrus to get the milk to separate, which makes it perfect for cocktails that don't usually have citrus in them. And I'm very excited by this idea of like being able to do clarified old fashions without adding citrus to them, or a Manhattan. In fact, I am probably going to clarify what's left of this. I actually combined my barrel-aged old-fashioned and barrel-aged liqueur in here. I'm probably going to clarify this and see how it turns out. Very excited by it. I don't believe you can just buy... Oh, no. Yes. Okay. Dr. Abigail, point the first, I believe You can buy milk curds, and that's like for making cheese and whatnot. I think they're solid curds, and um, they won't work for the clarifying process. So it's tricky. So you're just picking up about what we're saying about the lotus, photoshopping lotus pods on the skin. Yeah, it is. It is unsettling. I don't even have trypophobia, but when people Photoshop the lotus pods onto human skin, it is unsettling. It is an unsettling image. Brett Allen Welsh on the other side of the world. Hello to you, and I hope your weekend is treating you well. The thing is, Dr. Abigail, it's easier to buy both milk and powdered milk than it is. But also, I think, yeah, I have the feeling milk curds would be solid and that would not work in the clarifying process. So, but this is, I feel like I haven't had anything totally new to experiment with for a while. So I'm very excited by this experiment with powdered milk. And also you can do it with powdered coconut milk. And I have some powdered coconut milk in the pantry. I'm going to try it. You could mash up the curds or blend them, which it might work. But here's the thing. It's easier to get milk or milk powder than milk curds and then go to a huge amount. And also milk curds are probably more expensive than milk or milk powder as well. So while theoretically you could get them and it might work, it's almost definitely more expense and more trouble than making your own milk curds with milk or milk powder. I don't have a conclusive answer for you, but I believe all the various people who in bars around the world who've been experimenting with milk clarification for the best part of a decade would have been using milk curds if that was easier and more economical. I suspect milk curds is some combination of not working, more difficult to work with, more expensive. But yeah, again, you're saying that as if there's a clear delineation, time, money, because you're talking about a really potentially cumbersome process with treating the curds. I just feel confident that if purchasing commercial milk curds was a viable option, someone would be doing it, and I would have read about it. Little asterisk that's not necessarily true. I am making an assumption there that I actually have no evidence for, but it's actually the lack of evidence that's making me make the assumption, if you get my drift. So I suspect it's somewhere on the spectrum of doesn't work, too difficult, too expensive. Also, I don't know where to just buy milk curds from, which is a whole other thing. It's like, okay, I can make my own milk curds in 5 seconds, or this new experimental thing with baking the milk powder slightly longer, or go to some huge laborious trouble to procure milk curds that is almost definitely going to be much more expensive and almost definitely going to be much more difficult to work with and quite possibly just not going to work at all. So when you're layering on difficulty and expense, it just doesn't present itself as an attractive option. But okay, so now you're in a circle. Are milk curds so easy to make that's impractical to sell? Well, then I can't buy milk curds. But also, there's the element: how did they make their milk curds? Um, I don't know. Okay, so when they're making cheese, they don't use citrus, but they were using acid. Is it rennet? Um, I feel like rennet is in cheese. Uh, is rennet acidic? An acidic enzyme. Okay. So rennet, which is an animal-based thing, I think, is acidic and is the basis for making cheese, as I understand it. But that's what I do. I create my own cheese curds. And in fact, I've been saving them as well, planning to make something with them. And yes, I make my own cheese curds. So I have a bunch of alcohol flavored cheese curds, basically. And because it's close to the Indian cuisine, that's like a proto cheese paneer. And so I asked my friend, who's a really good Indian home chef, what could I make with them? And she gave me two recipes. Here's a savory one, and it was like garlic and herbs and spices. And that's like a savory dip. And here's a sweet one, and it was like sugar and vanilla and whatnot. And so you could use uh, these things to make both a sweet and a savory dip. And yes, I think we've had discussions about intention and text and not coming through. But yeah, I was just giving you genuine answers to a devil's advocate one. And the big one is I feel confident if buying commercial milk curd was a viable option for making clarified cocktails, I would have read about it. It's just that it's so absurdly easy to make your own. You just need an acidic element to curdle the milk. Doesn't have to be citrus. As I just found out, rennet is acidic, so that's how they separate the curds and whey for cheese making. Oh, fun aside, Safa, truffle cheese in the fridge. I'm a big a fan of truffle flavor myself. I have a truffle cheese sauce in the fridge, which I will probably be adding to some pasta at some point. We shall see. But yeah, it is. This feels like the first completely new thing that I'm making for a while. This experiment with the powdered milk just sounds fascinating, and I am extremely keen to see how it turns out. Ah, hot damn chog. Truffle oil and sourdough. Yes. God damn. Oh, I just love truffle flavoring in things. It just fucking rocks. Dr. Jones, you may be right about buttermilk too. In fact, I think buttermilk could add some really interesting flavors. Like if you actually add even more acid, and if you curdle buttermilk, I think that could add some interesting flavors that standard milk doesn't. But that's the whole thing. When you're doing milk clarification, you can flavor the milk. Some people just do it with like sugary cereals, like when you're a kid and you had the really sugary cereals and it all melted in there and you ate the cereal, and then the really good bit was drinking the milk in the bowl that had absorbed the sugar and color. Some people do that with clarified cocktails. They will soak a really sugary cereal in the milk, and then use that flavored milk in a clarification. When I was experimenting with non-alcoholic clarified mocktails earlier in the year, I was going, I need to bring in some flavors. Some I used tea, and one I used a malted milk powder in the milk. So it's a Milo alternative. It was this malt powder, and I put like a fuck ton of malt powder in the milk, like basically as much as would dissolve in the milk, and then used that as the base, curdled that, and added other elements, and made a clarified mocktail. And the malty elements really came through. Like it was actually really fucking yummy. So that was a win. But yeah, you use flavored milk. You can use non-dairy milks as well. I've used a variety of non-dairy milks. They just have to have a sufficient fat content, because that's what separates when you curdle them. You can get varying levels of success with various non-dairy milks and that thing, but it can work. It can absolutely work. So yes, now I've found this exciting thing of using a powdered milk or milk substitute. So I just realized here, look, I've got the glasses, my old glasses that I'd been using for video characters for a while. Who remembers these ones? Should I bring back these ones? These were a bold choice, I think. These are statement glasses, I think. I think it's fair to say you're making a statement wearing these glasses. They're a bit smaller than Harry Potter, but I get where you're coming from. Strictly say you had a good movie last week. Errol Flynn, Captain Blood and Robin Hood. Damn. Oh, The Hunger. Fuck yeah. Yes, these were my 2020 glasses. Ha! I love that. They look like show bag glasses. They do kind of look like novelty ones. But there's also these. These are slightly older ones. Heavy rims, but in a different way. So these, man, I got these, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So these are even older glasses. So it's just like, because I got private health insurance, which pays for a new set of glasses every year. So I get new glasses. They look like they're too small for my head. Pinching the sides too much weird. No, they don't, but they're just weird and small. They were shaped to fit my head. I've done some science. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh, also, strictly saying, I was just going to say, in terms of movies, I finally watched Not Quite Hollywood today. I was just kind of, after driving back from Wigan, where I was vegging out on the couch, and I was looking through and I was thinking, like, oh, I can just stream Not Quite Hollywood. I think I'll do that. And it was a very entertaining watch. For those who are unfamiliar with it, it's a documentary from, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago about Ozploitation, which is cheap genre films made in Australia in the 70s and 80s. I think the original exploitation films, which were made for the drive-in set, sort of started in the US in the 60s and 70s. And then there's the Ozploitation wave started in the 70s. I love the doco splits them into 3 categories. There's the gratuitous sex ones. Then there's the gratuitous blood and gore horror ones. and then there's the Mad Max inspired car violence ones. Yes, it's the land of hoity-toity. It's actually the land of the too many people in my family had cancer and I'm fucking paranoid, so I pay for private health insurance, which is probably not a good idea. But as a side thing, I get new glasses every year, so fuck it, I'm maxing that out. So you had Blaxploitation Night. We did Don't Play Us Cheap. Oh, Melvin Van Peebles made good movies. And you had Rudy Ray Moore in Beady Wet Straw. Nice. And yes, that that doco actually did make me want to watch a couple of ones. I watched Turkey Shoot when it was first released on video and fucking loved it because it was just fucking gory. I definitely want to watch The Man from Hong Kong. Yeah, things I'd always wished I'd watched. Patrick, The Man from Hong Kong, Harlequin. Oh, the dead end drive-in thing is weird. But yeah, no, I actually saw Turkey Shoot when it was first released on video. And I thought it was fucking awesome because it was so gratuitously violent. Oh yeah, no, Dr. Abigail, it is literally, you know, get my dentist checkups because they're paid for. Get physio. Get glasses because I'm fucking paying for it, and it is all because I'm paranoid because of how many members of my family have died from cancer. And it's like, okay, well, if I get something dodgy, I want to be in hospital straight away. It's kind of like when I got the false positive in my poo test from the government a couple of years ago. It was just like, right, I would like to go in for the tests right now. Thank you very much. And so they very quickly organized me to get the spit roast, the little probes going in at each end. Was it colonoscopy and gastroscopy? And the tubes go in and meet in the middle. And they actually found some polyps and cut them out, which I think is fucking amazing. Somehow, this fucking snake that they send up my butt with a camera on it also has little slicey bits. And they went, oh, look, there's a polyp. It's not cancerous, but it might be one day. Let's cut it out. Fucking science, man. Fucking science. It fucking rocks. So strictly saying it, you reckon dead end driving was really bad compared to how they're talking up in the doco? Are you waiting for the stunt at the end of the film? Yeah, where the truck crashes. Yeah, the poo test was like 3 years ago. I feel like it was like right at the start of COVID, or maybe even pre-COVID, because that's what got me the CPAP machine. Because the anaesthetist said, "Yeah, I think you've got sleep apnea. You should do a sleep test." And because I live streamed my sleep test from the hospital. You know what I'm going to watch? Mad Dog Morgan, because you can get that on Prime. And I kind of bookmarked it and I watched the first couple of minutes and just the stories about Dennis Hopper being off his fucking trolley. And it's just hilarious. Like, you got all the Australian people saying how fucked up Dennis Hopper was. And then Dennis Hopper being interviewed going like, yeah, I was fucked up. Yeah, I had 151 proof rum and I would just drink a half bottle of it. And it was just like, God damn. Oh, okay. I tell you what, the colonoscopy was nothing. I don't remember it. By far, the worst thing about the colonoscopy is the laxative they give you ahead of time. That was a fucking nightmare. That was the fucking worst. Yeah, I watched like the first 10 minutes of Mad Dog Morgan, and I need to go back to it, especially after seeing them all talking about it on Not Quite Hollywood. So Mrs. Jog did a sleep test. Look like she's simulating a Borg. Oh yeah, no, it was fucking wild. The amount of sensors they attach to you is incredible. Yeah, no, that is actually a fair call, Dr. Jones. You get past 40, and someone medical says maybe you should do that. And you go, yeah, maybe I should. I don't want to fucking die. Maybe we should do that. Don't get you wrong. Modern endoscopes are cool with cameras and lights. Oh, it's the bit, and that's fine. But I am genuinely wowed by, like, okay, yeah, the fiber optic camera, that's not even new. That's been around for ages. So yeah, a skilled technician fucking guides this thing through your fucking intestinal tract. Sure, that's the whole thing. But I am actually genuinely wowed that when they see a growth, which in my case was like a non-cancerous polyp, they've actually got the little cutting bits and they go, we can get that. Let's get rid of that. Zut, 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 zut. That genuinely blows my mind. And actually, the bit that blows my mind is I woke up and I didn't feel anything. So I didn't get general anesthetic. And I have explained this before, but I'll do it again. The anaesthetist said you're getting what we call twilight anesthesia. It's much less dangerous than general. You won't know anything. Like, you literally will not know anything. Like, even if your eyes were open and you weren't technically unconscious, you wouldn't know anything. And sure enough, it's like I went in there. It was like about 9 o'clock. They put me under, and at 10:30, I woke up. I'm in the bed, and I'm awake. And there's a clock on the wall, and it's only 10:30, and I'm like, the fuck am I awake at 10:30? How is that possible? And I legit think, because they stuck one thing down my throat and something in my butt, I thought I'd at least have a sore throat or feel like, ooh, something's been up my butt. Nothing. Didn't feel a goddamn thing. That was the bit that really did my head in, that I didn't feel anything. So strictly saying, your mum, best mate, ex-fiance. Oh yeah, you're if it happens, it happens. What goes on? Fair enough. Oh Jesus. Okay, let's just go to you with, yeah. That's parent nightmare stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Dr. Jones, what do you want? Do you want the twilight anesthesia, or do you want things sticking up your butt and down your throat at the same time? No judgment. But no, but that was the bit of the whole thing that tripped me out the most, that I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like something had been down my throat, something had been up my butt. And because I have had general anesthesia for surgery in the past, and you wake up sick as fuck. And if you eat or drink anything, including water, you will just vomit voluminously. You just can't consume anything for ages. So it's the twilight. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing that weirded me out, like, I woke up and it was only like an hour and a half after I went out, and someone goes, "Oh, you're awake. Do you want a sandwich?" And I went, "Oh, am I allowed to have a sandwich?" No, yeah, I'll get you a drink and a sandwich. And I went, "Yeah, that's good. Give me that." Um, because yeah, when you're under general, if you have anything within about 12 hours of waking up, you're just gonna vomit so much. But they literally just, yeah, have a sandwich. And then they sent me home. Like, I was home by lunchtime. Like, I went in early in the morning, did all the stuff, waited, went in, had it done, kept me under observation for an hour or so, and said, well, you can go home now. And I was home at lunchtime. It's fucking amazing. So, yeah, twilight anesthesia. It's the way to go. Heine, in just before final call. So, Dr. Abigail, you've had general and you could eat pretty quickly. Well, not. And again, it is actually a very long time since I've had general. Like, and I mean 35 years. And that was in a country hospital. So, what the fuck? But yeah, no, even just water just was voluminous vomiting. So, yeah. All I'm going on is my personal experience. So, what am I going to watch tomorrow? Good question. Probably got an episode of Ahsoka. Probably got an episode of Wheel of Time. We've got a little bit more of Reservation Dogs to watch. Oh, we started watching something on SBS on Demand, a comedy series called While the Men Are Away or something. It's a somewhat sort of whimsical, almost fantasy-ish comedy about World War II with all these women together because the men have gone off to war. They're all doing wild lesbian stuff. It's funny and fun and whatnot. So yes, I think when I'm talking general anesthesia, I'm so old. It was just someone hitting me over the head. Um, but yeah, this series on SBS is quite funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's called. It is literally called "While the Men Are Away," uh, and it is a somewhat whimsical comedy. It's a series, SBS on demand. You can watch it for free. You just have to register with the site. It's Australian. It's quite funny, but also full on lesbian sex in it. So there you go. Yeah, I mean that's my current choice for anesthesia would be self-administered high-proof spirits. I tell you, the other thing I'm thinking of watching on SBS On Demand is Firebite, a vampire series set in Australia where Indigenous people are vampire hunters, and the vampires are like underground in places like Cooper Pedy. It's not a very subtle allegory for colonialism, I think. Yeah, it's just half-hour episodes, nice and bite-sized. Um, Good fun. We didn't quite finish. I think we watched like 6 episodes of it in one night. Uh, so quite good fun. All the men are away. Um, it's not intended to be realistic or naturalistic, and there's lots of nudge wink references, like to us and whatnot. But yeah, I'd recommend it. It's worth watching. Just a fun comedy. While the men are away. But yeah, there's a few other things. New and final series of Sex Education is on Netflix now. Definitely want to watch that at some point. Enjoyed the previous seasons of it. But we'll see how that goes. Oh, Rays, hello, by the way. That's okay. You don't need to go near Netflix. Down to what you want to watch. Oh, Safa, I fucking streamed Resident Alien, and that was on like Channel 9's on demand thing. And it was just barely tolerable because it's a really good series. Like the lead is Alan Tudyk, however you pronounce his name, who's just done a shit ton of sci-fi stuff, where he's an alien on Earth. Really good, funny series with some good drama in it as well. But the fucking ads, holy fucking shit, Jesus. My God, like I'm not exaggerating. In one bit, they had a thing where they played 5 gambling ads in a row. Raise, I think I get it. Okay, that whole cuties thing, I never watched it. I had no interest in it. I got the vibe that the marketing of it, which was fucking gross, uh, was actually not reflective of the show. that the show was actually something very different to the marketing, which was creepy as fuck. But I never watched it, so I don't know. But yeah, but I mean, you get all those various channels that run, teen and preteen beauty pageants. Like, what was that really famous one? Oh, with the weird redneck family and the little preteen that they were putting in it. Ugh. Okay, so Cuties the movie was gross as well. See, I had no fucking idea because I just looked at it and went, I have no interest in watching this. But I read some stuff that suggested it was different to the marketing, but it's just I I have no idea because I didn't watch it. Yeah, beauty pageants generally are fucked up. Oh, it was like preteen beauty pageant things, and the marketing Netflix did for it was creepy as fuck. Okay, I'm going to trust you actually watch it. See, I didn't watch it because I was just like, I'm just not interested. But yeah, no, there are actual choices that were fucking creepy. Okay, yeah, not good, not good. Yeah, certainly nothing I'd ever defend. It's just like, oh, what the fuck. All right, but anyway, on that fun note, creepy shit that creepy people in the entertainment industry do. The swivel-eyed loons have a point. So that's the thing I mentioned before. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed, and I don't know, see if I wake up in horrible pain in the morning, or maybe I'll wake up feeling fine in the morning. I live in hope, but my body is old and pathetic and falling apart. So waking up feeling like shit is actually more likely. We'll see how that goes. I am going. Oh yeah, ceremonial eating of the cherry, of course. Brisbane just lost the NRL, but that's like a semi-final, isn't it? Was that a grand final? Okay, I thought it was. Yeah. I'll either be on Tuesday or not. Might be takeaway night with the offspring. Who knows? We shall see. But sometime during the week. So you all take care. Oh yum! That cherry's so fucking good. See you another time. I'll say bye for now.